Good morning and welcome to this weekly market update from AGM Markets. Today is the 1st of October 2012. What we'll do today is go through some technical analysis on Euro dollar, cable, dollar Swiss and dollar yen, to try and give some sort of weekly outlook into the markets. We'll also review price action from last week as well. For anyone who follows, we do have 3 moving averages on each of these charts. The red one is a 55 simple. Purple is 100 simple moving average, and the gold is a 200 simple moving average. We're not making any trade calls or recommendations in this video. You trade at your own risk. If you could please read our full disclaimer on our website www.agmmarkets.com. Okay, let's have a look at the euro dollar. This is the daily chart. What do we have on this daily chart? So basically, what happened last week was, we spoke about it for the last sort of couple of weeks really. So I've just flicked it back to the weekly chart. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weekly candlesticks, 5 weekly bullish candlesticks in a row, and we said the odds are for some sort of retracement. That's exactly what we've had these last 2 weeks. Standard retracement candles, nothing drastic to say that we're that will continue this big downtrend, but some people will be saying that. But in terms of a shorter term play of this recent up move here, that is still intact, and you can see that we're pretty much sitting on that weekly trendline support as we speak. So it's very 50-50 really in terms of the weekly chart. A lot of people say, oh yeah, we've now bounced off this weekly trendline resistance, we're now selling off, also off this 55-week moving average as well. And some people, the shorter term players who are more focused on the daily chart, will be saying that we're in an uptrend. So what's going on there with this uptrend? Yeah, some people say that we're in this uptrend here on the daily, and we should still go forward, and it's still intact. So the bulls and the bears are very equal to have their opinions on the market. But in terms of the shorter play, I still think this uptrend is intact in my opinion, especially off this 200-day moving averages, where you can see we've pretty much tested that to the pip with this trend line support confluence, and we are starting to bounce up. So keep that in mind really. You can also look at the recent fib from the recent bounce off the trend line from lows to the highs, and you can see that's also bounced off the 50% fib retracement as well. So a lot of reason to be bullish, especially the short term. If we're looking for a sort of outlook on the week, it does look like it wants to pop up really, in my opinion. Yeah, but I really would just focus on this sort of longer term charts. If you want to look at a shorter term chart, you can flip it to this 1 hour, and you can see, the moving average has been working so well. You can see that 200-hour moving average there, capping the euro and selling it off. If you want to look at the recent fib from the highs to the lows and look for selling opportunities, then you can see the 50% fib retracement coincides with this 55-hour moving average on this 1 hour chart as well. So that's how I'd have my euro chart set up for the week ahead. In terms of cable, we spoke about it last week. This resistance level at the sort of 1.6280s, we said keep an eye on that. It could hold as it did previously, and surprise, we're starting to sell off. And we have been due retracement as well. We spoke about this last week's video after the sort of 7 weekly candlesticks, green weekly candlesticks in a row. The odds are for some sort of retracement. Surprise, we got it at the previous resistance at 1.6280. It looks like we could come down further. If we do come down further this week, which would obviously need a very big retracement indeed, and the 100-week moving average comes in at 1.5923, but we're still some way away from that. Another thing on this daily, similar to euro, we do have a trendline support as well. If you bring that in, that is kind of testing on it at the minute. And if we do break that trendline support, then I'd keep an eye on the 55-day moving average, which is there. Similar to, if you want to look at a shorter term time frame like the 1 hour chart, then you can look at a fib from the highs there to the lows. If my computer lets me. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, so fib from highs to lows there to 50% also coincides with that 55-hour moving average, identical to euro really. So keep an eye on that. That comes in at one spot 61.90. Move over to dollar Swiss. On this daily chart, I think we spoke about this last week. If you draw a fib from the lows to the highs, yeah, we did speak about this. From the lows to the highs, what did we say last week? Keep an eye out on this 50% fib retracement at 0.9268, and we got a nice bounce up last week. So I'll still keep that fib on the charts. If you look at 4-hour chart, any sort of dip buying opportunity there for Euro Bull and Dollar Swiss was perfect at the 55 bar moving average on the 4-hour. You literally see that that's bounced off that to the pip, nice reversal candle, and then you could have bought then, and that got a nice pop to the upside. If you want to look at any shorter term time frames, similar to Euro and Cable, the recent swing on the 1 hour, but this time it's from lows to highs. Surprise, surprise, 50% fib retracement coincides with the 55-hour moving average. So a complete mirror image of that Euro chart there, which has been doing for a long time now. Dollar Swiss and Euro dollar, literally complete mirror image. Dollar yen hasn't been a massively interesting chart of late. Still keeping the trend line resistance in focus on the daily, and also trend line support is still intact as well. So it's just playing in between that really. In terms of daily, that's all I'm really focused on. 4-hour is quite choppy. Well, I mean on the 4-hour, you can see last week nice bounce off this 55 bar moving average on the 4-hour. For any sort of short-term dip players, recent fib here from the lows to the highs, it's come just shy of the 50% fib retracement. But you can see also that 200-hour moving average as well, reacting very well there. So keep an eye on that if you're a shorter-term player. I might stick it to that 1-hour chart. Keep an eye on that moving average, see how it reacts, see how this current candle reacts as well. Okay, that's all for the charts. Let's flip it to the Forex calendar. A very busy week in terms of data this week. Today, we've already had Chinese manufacturing PMI coming at 49.8. In terms of UK data, for anyone who trades cable, you have the manufacturing PMI forecast at 49.5 from the previous 49.5. At 3 o'clock, we have a big piece of US data, ISM manufacturing PMI, forecast at 49.8 from the previous 49.6. Bernanke speaking at 5:30 as well. See what its kind of reaction is from the recent QE. That'll be very interesting to see. That's at 5:30. There is some Aussie data overnight. We have cash rate, RBA rate statement. More UK data, construction PMI out at 9:30 on Tuesday, forecast at 50.0 from the previous 49.0, so we're expecting a better number there. On Wednesday, some more Aussie data of the trade balance at 2:30 AM for any of you that trade the Asia session. 9:30 on Wednesday, we have UK services PMI forecast at 53.1 from the previous 53.7. 1:15 we have US ADP non-farm employment change data forecast at 148,000 from the previous 201, so a big difference in the forecasted number there. And of course at 3 o'clock we have US ISM non-manufacturing PMI forecast at 53.4 from the previous 53.7. On Thursday, a lot of high impact news. We have Aussie data overnight in Asia session with the building approvals month on month. Look at that, for an expected number of 4.8% from the previous minus 17.3. So I'm sure that'll be very volatile for any Aussie traders. And also the retail sales numbers, big differences in the forecasted and the previous number. Thursday's all about interest rate decisions. We have out of UK interest rate decision at 12 o'clock, same time as the asset purchase facility as well. Both expected to stay the same there. So asset purchase we have 375 billion, and interest rate decision at 0.5%, so stay the same. But of course the MPC rate statement is the one to watch out for, to see what the members of the MPC, where they stand. Are they still hawkish or dovish? 12:45 there's the Eurozone minimum bid rate, 0.75%, and of course the ECB press conference. See what Draghi has to say there. At 1:30 of the US weekly jobless claims forecast at 371,000 from the previous 359,000. We have some Canadian data as well there as well. The IV PMI forecast at 59.0 from the previous 62.5. At 7 o'clock, maybe trading later in the day with the FOMC meeting minutes. Friday's the big day really. We have some big Japanese data overnight, the overnight call rate, monetary policy statement, and BOJ press conference. Also some Swissy data there. At 1:30 though, Canadian building permits and employment change, but the highlight of the week and the month is the US non-farm employment change out at 1:30, forecast at 111,000 from the previous 96,000, so a slightly better number we're forecasting there. At the same time, we of course have the unemployment rates, which is forecasted to go up. Interestingly, I think that's probably after the poor data that we had last week. Previous numbers 8.1% forecasted. The unemployment rate is still expected to go up at to 8.2%. So yeah, quite a busy week in terms of economic data. A lot of high impact news there. So expect a lot of volatility and liquidity in the markets. Okay, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and technical analysis. Yeah, be careful this week, so there's a lot of data out this week. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Have a great week trading. I'll catch you next week. Thanks for listening.